Hi, everyone. I want to talk a little bit about bits and pieces of integration, what it means for me, what I see is important. And in the field where I work with master plans in the Shipibo tradition. So I'm sharing experiences, offering reflections, offering perspectives in the way how can I connect the experience you have with master plans and the Shipibo tradition and our Western way of living life. I'm studying in the Shipibo tradition since almost 6 years now, and I'm facilitating retreats, organizing retreats, my own project, my own retreats, master planned retreats is truejourney.net. Also, I work as a facilitator for other bigger centers. I live in Peru since, almost 6 years. So yeah, my deep calling is to create space, to hold space, to be with people, to offer guidance in the way how they digest and their experiences and how they can heal and learn with this wonderful master plans and in the Shipibo tradition with the Shipibo maestros I work with. So about integration, for me, the main thing is that integration means like not just having a separated experience, not just having an experience to look at. For me, it's like really to digest the experience so that the experience gets a part in you, which is accessible. So how to make an experience, a process where you go through with the master plans or through the master plans, through the energies of the plans. How do you make this kind of experiences accessible in daily life? This is for me usually a process. So for me, it's really about embodying it, having it with you instead of looking at it, carrying it with me. And there are for me like certain ways how to do that. One thing is like really having a practice. There are different ways, different practices to embody it, to connect to my body, because my consciousness is with me in my body. And for me, like key is like learning to be present. And the first step how I learn to be present is like being in my body. For me, it's also like in a process, it's like also being present with my soul or being present in the field of consciousness. But to get there, for me, the first step is to be present in my body, to sense my body, to feel my emotions, feelings in my body, to feel blockages, to feel resistance, to feel pain, to feel joy, to feel love, to feel fear, to feel anger in connection to my body. Because the body really helps me to be present with where I'm going through. The body reminds me, brings memories up, implicit memory, explicit memory. So for me, one thing what is really important for me also to integrate my experiences, to integrate my processes, being present with my body. If I do breath work and I feel my body, if I do like sensing practices, if I do yoga, if I do a dance, like a practice where I really connect to my body and how is my body talking to me? What does my body show me? Everything what I feel and sense in my body is a reflection to my mind or to my emotions, to my thoughts and my emotions, to patterns, to where I'm at right now, and to be present with that. If I'm going through that, I can learn to be present with my true essence. I can learn to be present with my soul, and I can learn to be present in the field of consciousness. And these are different steps. Another really for me importance is to integrate and digest truly like experiences with plant medicine is a kind of meditation. I mean, there are also different ways how I meditate, but Why is meditation for me important? Meditation for me is important to learn to sit and to be in myself. And the first step is to decide to do this practice. Even if I sit 20 minutes and I'm thinking and planning my future because my mind goes there, for me, the first step is like really dedicating and sitting down. The second step is then the quality of my meditation, the quality, how do I sit and how do I be with myself? And I mean, there are so many different ways how we can meditate, but meditation for me is important to learn to observe myself and to sit inside of myself, because to integrate an experience with plant medicine, to make it accessible, I need also to build up a relationship to myself, to my own consciousness. And through what I said first, like the body work, yeah, that I connect to my body, that I sense my body with the intention to learn to be present. Then the second thing, the meditation, to really sit inside of myself, to learn to find this inwardness, this being inward, like awareness from inside out, being in myself. This is like the perspective and the relationship to my own consciousness. What I gained through meditation is for me also a very important part, because how do I relate to consciousness? When I change my relationship to consciousness, I change my relationship to life. I change my relationship in relationships. I change the relationship towards myself. So life is changing when I change my relationship to consciousness. If I learn to sit inside of me, to sit in my consciousness, when I'm practicing that, life is changing. And the third thing, what I think is really important, is inquiry practice. Inquiry for me is like connecting the dots, learning to connect the dots in where I include, of course, psychology and spirituality. That's why I call it psycho-spiritual inquiry, where I learn to connect the experience sensations of my body, my emotions, my thoughts, my patterns, my habits, my spirituality, my spiritual experience, where I learn to connect these different reflections, these different energies to make it whole. All these different parts which I experience, to connect the dots and to get a whole picture. This is for me also very important to integrate, because integration is for me connecting, bringing together different parts, different experiences, connecting my brain, connecting different parts in my brain, connecting my body with it, my emotions with it, and giving it a space in my consciousness. So, and learning that this all is accessible, that I carry all that with me, in me, and I learn to navigate through it, and I learn to be with it and to do with it in all kind of layers. So this is actually for me like the important pillars, which are very basic for me to digest and integrate a deep experience with master plants. And for me, it's not about having transcendence, fabulous experiences while we are in ceremony, while we are dieting a plant. No, it's like really collecting all these experiences where we go through, whatever type they have, collecting them and digesting them and making them accessible. And with these three pillars, like having a body practice, having a meditation practice, and having a psycho-spiritual inquiry practice. These are for me, with these three pillars, it gets accessible. And of course, there are other areas where we can talk about in integration, that we have like social connections, and many, many, many other parts, of course, like, connecting to nature, I mean, there's so much more to say, like different arts, what we can do, and having a community where we can share and reflect and mirror and learn with each other just through listening and seeing, hey, we are not alone with that. Yeah. I mean, there are many other aspects to say, but in that context, I just wanted to present this three pillars. And please feel always free to reach out. I support people in the integration processes with psychospiritual inquiry, with coaching, with mentoring. Yeah, so feel free to write me an email or to contact me through my website, w2-journey.net. My name is Ute, and I send you much, much love and light here from the Sacred Valley in Peru.